is it, guys?
5.
All right, 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 ain't bad, but you're not a duet, so you're not going to sing live, but you will help me encourage the listeners to pledge. I want to say a few words to you. I want you to get right up on the mic and talk into that mic like you're passionate about it. Now, I don't mean to imply anything, so you know, don't take it that way. But what I want to say is, get right up on the mic so that the listeners can hear the words that you utter from your precious mouths, both of you.
Thank you.
What makes Shades of Soul so special to you? What do you think it is? Because I'll begin to tell you. I could talk forever. I want to hear from you guys.
Oh, well, first of all, I'm Bert. I'm one of the lead singers and actually one of the founding members of the group. What makes Shades of Soul a little different is the passion that we feel towards the music that we do. And it's the blend and the dynamics of the group that really pull it through. We're trying to sing music that's a little bit out of the box, and also at the same time to give people something to remember the group by, and being the vocals and again the blend and the dynamics of the group.
Okay, one of the things that I like about this group is that you definitely make what seems to be very conscious choices to not really duplicate what so many other groups seem to do. One of the problems that I have, one of my pet peeves, is that so many a cappella groups tend to duplicate what each other's doing.
Right.
Now,
the same thing over and over and over.
Yes, and that's Bobby Walker talking, right?
Yes.
Okay, Bobby, can you talk a little louder and I don't know how close you are to your mic, but make sure that you are, okay?
Okay.
So I want to hear you real good.
All right.
All right? This is true. Many a cappella groups have in the past, and also some of the ones who are around today, do a fair amount of duplicating what each other's doing. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I could thoroughly respect that you guys are doing is, first of all, you've taken very conscious choices by doing stuff that I think wouldn't even cross the minds of many of those other groups. And not to put down anybody, because there's a lot of decent groups that have come and gone, and some who are around today.
Definitely.
But I like that you make a point to be different. You know, when there's an a cappella show recently, like when I saw you guys at an a cappella show, under some circumstances when there's many a cappella groups in a row, they end up in the same night at the same show singing the same tunes. Like you might hear Gloria, or you might hear Diamonds and Pearls. I think I remember hearing Diamonds and Pearls one night when there was a whole bunch of a cappella groups on the bill, like 6 different times. Nobody needs that. I like how you made the decision to do things that no one else is thinking about doing right now. You're going in a more soulful direction, but yet staying true to the rhythm and blues roots. All right, you're not like way out there with soul. You're real street corner a cappella, but a slightly more soulful direction than where most groups would dare to go.
Yeah, that was a conscious effort, really, on our end. And initially, when we were initially putting the group together, we have a lot of people, naysayers, who were saying, well, you know, what are people going to do? Nobody wants to hear that. But we stood true to our form, and that's what we push.
Don't you love when some one individual wants to tell you, as they tell me, nobody wants to hear that. Oh, okay, who appointed you in charge of everybody? What did you do? Take a scientific poll, and you polled everybody, and you already learned for a fact that nobody wants to hear this. That's what I've been told too. In the past, when I've played some of the songs when the show was new, especially, I would get people who would tell me individually, they'd call me up on the phone and say, nobody wants to hear that. What are you playing that for? And I'm like, well, who are you? Did you poll everybody in the listening audience, or are you just talking about you and your 2 friends?
Oh, they ran a Gallup poll.
Yeah, right. So what I'm saying is, I applaud your daring to be different, because I wish more groups would step outside the box. Not necessarily have to be in the direction that you're going.
Exactly.
But there's a good number of songs that are popular hits that many groups choose to do. There are few groups who really dare to go into songs that are less known and make them a part of their act so that they can become more well-known. That's what I attempt to do for this show, and I believe that that's what groups need to be doing to help do their part to popularize this music and the underexplored side, which is what I think you guys are doing in your special branded way.
That's what we applaud. You know, I applaud you for doing what you do, because that's exactly what kind of pushes us to listen to you even more. Because the more I'm listening to you, the more I'm listening to what you're doing, I am getting so many ideas in my head about what direction the group can go in, what we can attempt, what we can push aside. But you know, because you're laying this out in front of us instead of listening to, you know, Tonight Tonight, Gloria, Diamonds and Pearls, you know, we're listening to, you know, the Infernos, listening to the Delmonicos. There's so many things that you're playing. Rochelle and the Candles, or whatever. I mean, it just blows me away what you do, and which is something that I grew up with, but I wasn't necessarily able to keep up with. But I grew up in East Harlem, so everything that we're playing was from 125th Street, so all of this stuff was there for me. Okay, so you're saying that as a member of a group, this show is giving you ideas as directions that you might go in. It serves as a palette for you to design your own canvas, your own painting, your own canvas. Exactly.
Is that enough reason for you people out there? You heard it from Bert. Say your last name.
Archilla.
Archilla. Okay, I wasn't going to use that pronunciation. I don't know. Do people, is that really the way it's supposed to be?
It's actually Archilla.
That's what I would have gone with. Okay, but you Americanized it?
Everybody Americanized it, so you know, that's the pronunciation. I caved in after all these years.
Yeah, I did the same thing. But you hear it from Bert Archilla that, I feel funny saying that, but Bert Archilla, who sings with Shades of Soul, says the show serves for him as a forum for ideas, a palette of ideas, and he could take these ideas that he gets, learn about different material, learn something about the context of the material, and decide what direction he might go in with his group. Well, is that important? Don't you think that's serving a purpose? This is a program with a purpose. The purpose is to inform, to educate, to entertain, and to explore some of the sounds that are an important part, but maybe not so celebrated, part of the pantheon of rhythm and blues, vocal group music. Call it doo-wop if you want to, or call it soul, whatever we call it. Getting into more technical labels, I just call it vocal group harmony because that covers a pretty large gamut of what I consider to be within the parameters of what I would play on this program. But what reason do you think that is best for listeners? I mean, what is the first and foremost reason in your mind that you think should be driving listeners to pledge to the group Harmony Alley? Either one of you. And Bobby, do feel free to speak. I know you're a shy guy, but I'm going to come after you. You're not off the hook with me, but Bert, you go first.
Well, it's exactly what attracted me. The differentiation in music. We go from one extreme to another, from one genre to another, all within the same vocal group. The a cappella, the old R&B, the old gospel R&B feel that comes into a lot of these original groups that came out. Those are the things that really attract me. I can listen to that other stuff on any radio station in the area. You can put it on and you'll hear something else. But to listen to these songs, to listen to the original songs, to listen to the original artists doing it, that's just a total turn on to me. And I think to anybody who is into this kind of music.
Well, Bobby, why do you listen to this show each week?
Well, I listen to it because of the variety of old stuff that you play. There's so much that I never heard before. I thought I knew everything.
Okay, but you did say a word that I really don't say. You said old. And I noticed that. Now, I don't have a major problem with you, so don't get all scared because you look like you started shaking your boots. Because, I don't know, do I intimidate you or something? All right, let me just say this. I never call this music old. I will never call it old because to me, I will refer to dates. I refer to it in an historic context, and by dates, I give that annotated information because I believe it's important to put it in context, to give it some perspective. But I don't call it old because I feel the music still sounds fresh. Now, understandably, what's happening in music today, especially with younger generations, what they're listening to, it may not be fresh by that standard to their ears, but by my standard, it's real good music, and I don't care what year it was recorded. It's do I like it, do I think it's good music, but I won't call it old because I personally feel that it might be doing a disservice to the music. I know you mean well, but you don't have to apologize. But I'll never say old. I don't call it oldies. I never say anything nostalgic about it. I just like it to be considered history. And I just try to avoid the old word. Because, like, for instance, people, you put it from this point of view. What person would like to be called old? Really, nobody. We all want to think of ourselves as young. Well, our music has feelings. So I don't want to insult the music. So it's okay. It's nice that you get to hear the variety. And I noticed that you must be a regular listener because you keep calling into the program each and every week. That is a faithful, almost entirely each and every week, right? You get a couple weeks off here and there.